Hello?
I don't know what episode this is. I'm behind on episodes again. We got one deleted, bro.
I know. Yeah, no.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. We can't talk about it.
Yeah, we signed an NDA
Yeah.
on it.
No, dude, YouTube fucking axed one of our episodes.
Which is crazy because I don't know what exactly, we kind of narrowed it down to maybe.
Yeah, it's probably just talking about medical stuff. Let's be frank.
Yeah, they don't like it whenever you talk about medical, even though, we never claimed to be
Smart.
doctor.
We never claimed to be smart.
Yeah.
In fact, I think everything we did was us being retarded.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never said anything, intelligent.
Yeah. This whole podcast, if you're listening to it, is just a mental drain.
Yeah, and if you come here for medical advice...
Yeah, that's your
congratulations. You found the real source of information.
What I found particularly curious about it, which is the inner conspiracy theorist inside myself, is why after all this time? Did somebody watch it and just report it? I don't know.
Yeah, well, what's weird is because it was episode 20.
I thought it was the cabin episode.
It is.
Oh, that's 20?
Is that 20? I thought it was 20.
Or something. Or no, sorry. We have the joke title for it.
Right. Yeah, so it was episode 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just why even bother? We didn't even have the camera yet.
No, there's no camera. And some of the stuff I feel like we were just kind of saying sarcastically, so I wasn't entirely sure. I don't know. It's not like they give you a timestamp of them, here is where their infraction is.
Yeah,
but I had to take a whole course to know what we can't talk about. Did you take the course as well?
No.
Okay, so I'm the only one versed, so Sam's still going to get us fucking destroyed.
You guys shouldn't take the...
Yeah. I'm an educated and learned individual now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I know what I can and can't say on this. And I can say that you can drink water. But I can't say...
You guys shouldn't take the... If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No.
It's just being really vague. Don't. We just start leaving, clues of, bottles and things and whatever in the background. Just, little posters.
We send people, a cipher piece of paper to whoever wants it. E8 4F 12B.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god.
We can say what we want.
It was pretty funny to wake up to that and see your message on that. I was dying. I was like, why? What did we even say? And then I had to listen to the cast and I was trying to skim it. I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah.
But
I think we know, but
regardless, yeah, so we can't talk about medical advice. But if you came here for medical advice,
you're winning.
You're Charlie Sheen winning is what you're doing. So we kind of pretty much talked about everything. I think we can just end the podcast now.
Yeah.
Before the podcast.
Oh, I got a list.
Yeah. All right, let's hear the list.
I'm a list guy.
Let's go down the list.
Well, do you have anything? I mean,
the only thing I have is that I got to read Crime and Punishment in less than a month, and it's 600 pages. Which is probably 40 pages a day, and the more I don't read it, the bigger it gets. So, but I'm trying to overcome procrastination, so I gotta have to start.
It's hard.
Yeah, honestly, even if I read one page a day, that's still better than the Cody of last month.
Yeah.
But frankly, I don't really want to read it. It's a book I want to read at some point, but I don't want to read it. But we got our book club, so part of this is you have to learn to have Stockholm Syndrome and the suffering in some way. You have to find something to like about the person that has held you captive in order to actually finish the book. Because it's impossible to have motivation to read something, for me anyways, without learning to like it. So I don't know if I'm just gonna really like the fact that a chapter's over with or something, or
check another one off the list.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it also, I'm kind of dismayed about it slightly, and this is just me being a little bit pedantic, but all the guys and the girl now that we have the woman in our book club, just basically listen to the audiobook. So it doesn't really feel the same, because it's you get to listen to 50 hours of an audiobook, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm going to spend double or triple the time reading the book, and so I just feel I have a sense of familiarity with it that's slightly different than everyone.
I always find with audiobooks, I'll be really engaged for a while, and then if I listen to too much of it, I just lose everything. I don't focus on it.
Well, part of my difficulty with it is that you still gain, and at the end of the day, it's better that you're listening to or reading a book than not doing that.
Yeah.
I fully agree with that. But I think that contextually for like a book club, the engagement's not totally the same. And I also feel that like you're gaining an inflection, or you're letting the narrator like give you an inflection that you may not otherwise have. So there's almost like a layer of bias in there that infringes on it, and then also the multitasking thing of not being as invested while doing something, like maybe you're doing something or driving.
I would say so. I mean, obviously, I don't know how old is that book.
It's pretty old.
Okay. So I would say if you can get an audiobook that is narrated by the person who wrote the book, completely different, I think that's optimal.
For sure, yeah.
Because they'll say things in certain ways that you wouldn't think of, but that's how they meant it because they're the author.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when when we did the book 12 Rules for Life, I think people were listening to Jordan Peterson himself narrate it, which is obviously much different. This guy is Russian, and this is a translated book. So, and I believe the book was... I actually don't have the date. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere between 1900 and 2000. Probably 1900 to 1980. Probably, if I was to narrow it down, 1940 to 1980. But I'm not sure. I don't know for sure. I thought I had the book, but I have a different book from him and my Great Books of the Western World, so I had to buy this one.
Gotcha.
And then I thought we also had this book as well, but we had an abridged version of it because it's really long. So I had to buy the full version.
Gotcha.
So the only thing I'm dreading about it isn't the content or anything about that. It's just the length, and then I have priorities for working on my game now, and I don't want to do anything else. Basically,
that makes sense.
That's basically my only issue with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing that I'm dealing with.
That's cool. I mean, like, so speaking of books, my wife, she's done with her job. Her job kind of sucked for a while. And so she quit. And so she's going to take like a 3-month break and then maybe go back to work. We'll see.
Yeah.
The thing that our sister-in-law has done is that we like went and hung out with her brother and my brother-in-law, and just went and like played board games or whatever. And before we left, our sister-in-law was like, oh, you're reading books, because my wife was reading The Hobbit. And so my sister-in-law was like, oh, you want to read some books? Here, I'll get you some books. And like she was like, I don't know, these are like, because they're kind of smutty books, a little bit. They're supposed to be. And so like she like gave her 3 books. She's like, oh, this one is because you're Catholic, and I think that this is good for that. Here's one just to see if you like it, and here's another one. This one's a little bit hardcore, but you might like this one.
Do you remember the titles of all of them?
They're all so generic.
Okay, because I was going to say, Jade and I talk a lot about them because she reads a lot of the random, like, book talker type stuff that are popular with,
whatever.
The community.
Yeah, the kids. No. The kids that are reading the smut.
Yeah, there's like the Fourth Wing thing is really popular. Everybody likes Court of Thorn and Roses, which I have read those 3 books, not anything else beyond that. And then there's some other popular ones, like Shadow and Bones. Like, I'm just trying to think of some of the
there's one with
fantasy.
There's one with the first one that she read was very tame, and my wife was a little bit disappointed. Spiciness level, she gave it 1 out of 5 chilies.
Wow.
And so
Whoa.
And so there was one scene where like they get married, and then they like make sweet love, and it's not even like anything whatever, but basically it's a book about like witches and witch hunters, and like the girl's a witch and the guy's a witch hunter. I'm like, ooh,
oh,
yeah. So that one was okay. She didn't find anything interesting about it, but what it's really telling us about is my sister-in-law's.
That's what I was going to say. Her taste and the quality of books she reads.
Yeah, and so that was interesting. She's on the second one now, and I guess, I don't know, this one has like maybe a werewolf or something in it. But the last one, by the way, too, was like French people and witches and witch hunters. So I don't know if that points towards a very specific book or a lot of books.
Dude, hearing my girlfriend fucking talk about these horrible books she reads, like she was reading this one that was like a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, and oh my god, it was so funny because it's called like something like The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty, and it has like pretty much like 1-star reviews, but there's like 4 books or something, and I think Jay got through like 2 of them, but it was so funny because there's like a part she's talking about the logistics of this stuff because I guess Sleeping Beauty is like ends up being like a sex slave or something.
Okay.
To like the prince, or I don't really understand how we get to this point in the plot.
Yeah.
But the logistics part was funny to me because she was talking about how like they had these staffs that had like an appendage on the end, and they were using it, and there was a line about like it lifting up the person as they were doing it, and she's like, that doesn't make any sense because like physically if you were trying to lift somebody up by just that part, like it would either just like fall out or like rip through them, or like you can't like
lift someone up with a stick.
Yeah, from the other end like a popsicle or
Yeah.
something. Like it's not how it works. And that was really funny. I was fucking dying. And then there was just some other stuff about like her Sleeping Beauty herself being like super into it.
Oh, okay.
That was
I thought
just-
she was asleep for the
Yeah.
whole thing, and that
Well,
was.
she was for part of it. So it's not. It's like basically like she had like I guess in the original story of Sleepy. I don't know. I have not gotten to Sleeping Beauty in my fairy tale stuff.
Uh-huh.
But from what I understand, it's either the book or I'm conflating with the actual story. But she has like multiple kids before she wakes up or something like that. I don't remember. Yeah.
And that's where the 7 dwarfs come in. They're just kids.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like,
With beards.
It doesn't make much sense because it's like, are they like opening her mouth and like feeding her by like closing the mouth so that like the kids actually get nutrients so that she can have a bit? Like, what is the magic?
A magic.
Yeah.
She's asleep because of magic.
Yeah.
It's actually called a coma,
Yeah.
but they didn't know that back then.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were like, oh, well, we can use some bloodletting on her
Yeah.
to fix this humor in her body. Yeah, so
Very.
that's great that she's finding out more intimate details about your sister-in-law.
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I've gotten a summary. The only thing that she liked out of the first one was that like every time that the main dude, the witch hunter dude, is like being talked about, they always start off on how sweaty he is, and it's like glistening with sweat. My shirt stuck to my skin because of how sweaty I was while I sword fought Dale. Like
That's amazing. The only thing I could see in the distance was a giant glowing like
Sweaty
man. Silhouetted against the landscape was just the glowing orbs of his nipples.
But yeah, I wish I had a picture of it. I should have taken. My wife wrote she wanted to do like a rating, and then she made her own comic strip of like the dude like showing up. The first page of the comic strip is like dude showing up with like a sweaty shirt, and she's got like an arrow pointing like really sweaty shirt.
That's
And
great.
then the girl's like, you'll never guess what I am, and then the guy going like, you're a witch, aren't you? Let's get married. Like just like it was something like that, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, no, those books,
Mhm.
you know, that's always fun. I went up north.
Okay, how was that?
I was good. We went with some friends. This was like, so my wife doesn't have a job, so like like pure vacation. Don't have to worry about anything when we get back. We just go home and like chill
Is
out.
this the cabin or is this the wedding you're talking about, or both?
This is a separate event.
Okay, got it.
We planned this like earlier in the year with friends.
Okay.
They're people you know, not,
Yeah.
but
That's fine.
but yeah, we went up north. We rented an Airbnb, and it was like out in the middle of the woods.
Okay, see, I thought you would have went to the cabin or something, but that makes sense. Was it a nice Airbnb or what?
Oh yeah, it had a sauna
Oh, really?
and a hot tub.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And the sauna was like a stove one.
Mm.
So I had to like, in order to get the sauna going, I had to like a couple hours before like go outside, get firewood, put it in the tube.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that was really cool. We sweat a lot.
Nothing like getting sweaty with the friends.
Yeah. We were.
Just a towel on, you're like, I did this in Iceland.
Well, see, in Iceland you would have not had the towel on,
Oh,
but yeah.
In
But yeah.
Iceland, we just spread eagle.
Yeah, with that, the old men, you actually have to help them
Yeah.
get their balls off the
Yeah,
wood.
you gotta peel it off gently.
Yeah,
it's
they
part
don't.
of the custom in
It-
Iceland.
Yeah, they.
You spin on it.
Yeah. You. if you use your tongue because your tongue's wet,
Yeah.
you can like
Pry it up.
yeah, kind of
wedge it in there.
so
Wrap it around like a snake.
to lift each one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we drank a lot. We played card games. We did like a bonfire. We grilled. It was a very like
just chill time.
Yeah, almost like a default white person vacation.
Why do you say default?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We just hung out and like.
You guys made food with like no spices and.
We made burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then watched like reality TV or something together.
Well, so as a joke, because the Airbnb host they left the Netflix signed in. And like we went on there, we're like, what garbage could we watch? And we started watching this K-drama, and it actually was kind of funny to watch. We actually watched like 3 episodes of it, but it was called Love in the House. Really generic title, but it basically, I mean, like it's funny with K-dramas because they shoot things like it's anime.
Oh.
So whenever they do like a scene, right, they'll like for instance, a lady's about to faint and a guy like runs up and like grabs her and does this like spin move and like romances her, like tilts her down, and it like it was really well shot, and you're like, oh, this is anime.
Does it have like the egregious amount of panty shots too, or they didn't take that?
They didn't do that part, yeah.
Speaking of Love in the House, I see that Fish Tank season 3 is running right now.
Isn't it? Oh yeah, it was right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the things were kind of funny with it. I haven't been paying attention that much, but I'm in a Discord and they're talking about it constantly, and so like I just kind of read the updates. One of the things I found particularly funny is like they were like encouraging this guy to like say the N-word because they were like they brought him into like a confessional booth and they're like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it. He said I didn't do it with like a hard R. I was just doing it like in a friendly way or whatever. Or maybe he didn't even do it to begin with, and they were just gaslighting him to believe he did it or something. I don't remember. But basically, like the thing I thought was super funny, Sam Hyde's like, look, we just want to say like our black editors like really approve of you. Like, if anything, you have, like, street cred. And so they're, like, he's just, like, basically, like, lying about, like, how much of the, like, black support he has. And it's also really funny because the whole thing currently is shot in this way that's, like, it's framed to all of the fish as, like, them being a part of a reality TV show called Famous House.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's done everything so far that I've seen has been, like, reinforcing this idea that they're like just there for like an acting gig and they're not like there for like a psychological experiment. Basically, like he had a big TV brought out and they like pretended to show them like the first premiere intro on Hulu and everything, like to give them this impression.
Oh, they gave like a Hulu like opening.
Like a Hulu, yeah. And then he talks about like the ratings and like things, and then he also like they pretend to do like scenes that are acted with the fish and stuff like that, and then they're slowly like ramping into this idea that there's a computer that's where like the voice is, and they just started saying that like the computer's gonna have some glitches and stuff, which I'm assuming is like the lead in towards TTS from People.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of them have this impression that this is all live 24/7. They think that like. I don't know. It's wild. It's crazy. These are people, from my understanding, that don't know anything about Sam Hyde for the most part.
Well, yeah, you'd have to, right?
He's just found like normal people that were in like casting and wanted to be famous, and so they're all playing this role of like they think they're in this house because it's a reality show and they're gonna win money off of it. But it's wild. I have not paid that much attention to it, just enough to get some of the glimpses of it. It's funny. I also like that when they only revealed the computer to this like black guy named Bert originally. So like it was like this impression of like him going crazy basically because he hears these voices only when he's alone in a room and it never comes out. It's really funny. I think all of them know that there's a computer now, but I'm not entirely sure.
The computer is telling me things.
Yeah, it's great. They did like a mock election from what I see the last challenge is. I don't know. It just grants you like immunity from getting eliminated. Whatever. It's really fun. I'll watch when they get the edited version. Oh, man, it's been pretty good so far.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, I only watched like the summary videos
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call them. So
Yeah, I was pretty invested in season 1, and then I was pretty invested in season 2, although I didn't like season 2 that much. I couldn't watch season 2.5 because they did it outside and the audio was horrible, and I have hearing problems, so I couldn't hear like any of it basically.
yeah,
But I did download a video that was like a summary of some of the stuff in 2.5. Even though I liked the setting of 2.5 because it was like a LARP almost with like vampires and magic, and they were doing like game shit. It
Yeah.
seemed really funny, but I couldn't get into it because I couldn't hear anything. And then this one has much better audio, and I love the setup for it, but I just cannot devote
Yeah.
the hours to watching it all.
yeah,
So,
no, I get it.
yeah. Anyways,
But yeah,
yeah,
so fish
yeah.
in a house.
Yeah, people in a house, K-pop drama, that's how I got there.
Yeah. I understand
Yeah,
completely.
okay.
Yeah. It's shot like an anime.
Yeah.
No-
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, we watched. You ever heard of The Menu, the movie?
No.
Okay, it's basically. I don't want to spoil any of it. But really good movie. Bunch of people go to an island for like it's the fanciest restaurant ever created,
Okay.
and they go to this island. And it's all these like rich people show up to this island, and there's a cast of characters, and certain things happen. It's a great time. Fantastic watch. And so like me and Rebecca, we've seen the movie ourselves, but no one else has. So we showed them that, and they all liked it. So it was good.
Speaking of movies, really briefly here for a second, I watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Why?
Have you seen it?
No, but I've seen the one that came out before the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that has Nicolas Cage not talking the entire time.
Yeah, dude, I want to see that. I have not watched it yet.
Way better.
We're planning on doing like a Nicolas Cage like movie-a-thon with Jacob, where we watch as many movies from him as we can over the course of a day.
Oh.
So we're gonna do that soon. But I honestly I thought the movie was relatively well done. I don't like the conclusion of it, but I like that it like adhered to the game lore pretty well. It seems.
Yeah.
Of what I know of FNAF.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I like that the animatronics look like they do, kind of like in the game, and there was like some horror elements that were consistent. It seemed, pretty unoffensive overall.
Okay.
I thought it was entertaining.
So they did an okay job with it.
Yeah, they did an okay job. Yeah. It was interesting, and then they have some interesting story, and it was relatively fine. I felt like the exposition was a little bit heavy for like him explaining things, the main character, because the whole premise is like.
And then there's Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
And
Basically, there was this whole thing of like the main character, which I think is played by like Josh Hutcherson or something, is like suffering from like an insomnia because every time he goes to sleep, he sees the moment his like younger brother was taken and stolen from his family in like the back of a car from some random guy, and he's like trying to comb over his memories to find like any detail he can to like get the perpetrator caught, which is almost kind of weird because he's like trying to comb over details, but he can clearly see the license plate of the car, so I don't know why that doesn't. Whatever. So, anyways,
that can't be
yeah,
evidence.
he watches the car fucking leave in this direction, and anyways, it turns out that the guy that stole the kid ends up being the guy that created like the restaurant, and then whatever he put all these kids in these animatronics, and their souls possess the animatronics after being killed, and for some reason they eat people. I don't know why.
Purple. Oh, the animatronics.
Yeah, like do they have room for that?
Oh
like,
no,
they don't have like a digestive system. That doesn't make much sense.
Depending on what game, I know the FNAF lore a little bit, but I think in the second Five Nights at Freddy's they went over that by basically saying that they think that people outside of their mask at night, outside of the suit at night, are exoskeletons, and so they put they're supposed to be automatically like put a skeleton on it. And so they're eating the kids to put the body on the skeleton?
From my understanding, the reason that they're, like, evil or something is because they have, like, a security subroutine that is activated and they think that the person is, like, I don't know.
Well, they don't... I don't think it was, like, it might be I don't remember. I watched all the lore because I was like, I gotta know what this trash is. But I'm pretty sure that at least in the second one, because there's certain animatronics that if you put on the mask, they'll just be like, oh, that's just a guy. Hey, and then like walk on by.
The only lore I know is Five Nights at Freddy's. That's
Yeah. You're spending 5 nights at Freddy's.
I'm out of culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that movie was okay. The other movie I want to talk about, which I'm hoping you've seen because I do want to yap about it a little bit, is Midsummer. Have you watched Midsummer?
What is it about?
It's the one where they like go to this Swedish cult, and it's like all the people in white, and they're like at like this happy.
Do they build like a raft?
No. Goddamn! I was hoping you would have seen Midsummer.
Damn
The basic premise. I think you'll ever watch it. It's shot really nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty movie. But the basic premise is like, oh, our quirky Swedish friend wants us to go to his like commune that he grew up in.
Okay, and Midsummer's like just I know it doesn't have anything to do with anything,
Yeah.
but Midsummer is like they're like because it's nice out. I'm going to take a month off of work or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's
Right. Yeah.
What it ends up being is like this creepy cult with like whatever that ends up killing basically all the people except for one by the end of it.
Gotcha.
But the thing that I found really annoying about the movie is that like none of the characters have like seemingly any intelligence with regards to like self-preservation.
Yeah.
Like they go to this random cult, they are suspicious of things happening, yet they have this reckless abandon to continue to take the random like shrooms, drugs, drinks, food from these people.
Yeah.
Like, and this is stupid to me too because I hate when I see video games where they have a hunger system and you die as soon as like
You get
your
hungry.
food runs out. And it's like, dog, I feel it is totally possible for any of these people to like fast for several weeks and just kind of like slink away in the night. Like, why is this so difficult? Like, they suspect their friends are being killed, and then somebody hands them a drink, and the guy literally asks, like, what is it? And it's like, and the person's like, oh, it'll make you, like, essentially, like, impaired, and it'll lower down your defenses so you're more able to do stuff. And he's like, okay, and drinks it. Even after he's already feeling like shit, he's, like, worried about his friends. I don't remember if they've discovered any bodies or anything deliberate, but most of the people there, like the friends watch these people jump off a cliff and like die basically, and they're like, this is fucked up and crazy, and like some of them have different motivations. Like one of them wants to write like their master's thesis on this place or whatever, so he's like invested in staying there. So like I get that motivation, but like the friends that are like, oh my god, we need to get out of here, they're like, well, let's enlist the help of the people. That's great. Let's ask them for help.
Yeah.
And then like this,
hey, can you guys give us a ride back to town?
yeah, literally. This guy and girl, the guy's like, okay, they're like, okay, we're gonna pack up and leave. And then the girl's like, well, where's my boyfriend? And they're like, well, he left already. There was only room in the truck for like one person. And so they're like trying to convince her of this. And then she's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And even all the friends are like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would he leave her? She's like, oh, I could have just rode in his lap or something. And so she's like, well, I guess I'm gonna go talk to the fucking cult and see if I can figure out what. Like, no, just run, leave,
Yeah.
get out of there. Like, what are you doing? It's
Jesus.
so stupid. And then they're like, oh, well, we'll just take more drugs, and then they drink more stuff, and then like, well, this is crazy. And then the guy wakes up and he's like having to mate with like one of the cult people, and there's like 10 naked women dancing, and then like he cheats on his girlfriend. Like, it makes no sense. It's so stupid. It is so
Jesus.
dumb. I hate these characters that are so stupid.
Damn.
And it's a shame because it's really pretty. The shots are really good.
Well, because it's got a good landscape.
Well, no, not even just that. It's just good framing.
Oh, okay.
Like, they frame
they just did everything
the
nice.
props are good. Like, it's just, they got a great... The pacing's kind of fucking slow. But for the nothing that happens, which is basically everyone dying. And then the cult being retarded.
Yeah. Damn.
But one of my favorite parts of it is like one of the guys, he like goes to take a piss and he accidentally pisses on like their ancestral tree where they like shuffle the ashes into the tree, and so like they kill him basically because he did that.
Wow.
So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. He pisses on the tree and then they
They're
kill
like,
him
that's
because
my ancestors you're peeing on. It's like, well, pee is like refuse, so there might be like some kind of symbolic thing here happening where like everything returns to dirt, and although you make this like, you know, really important, it's also like technically like that dirt is like in your excrement even is like completing the cycle of Earth. So like maybe you shouldn't Like, I don't know. There's like a way to think about it that's like not like you're defecating or on my family. It's like there's a way to think about like everything returns in the cycle, and it's not more important or less important.
They would make you the cult leader.
Yeah,
They'd be like, wait, we should all piss on the tree.
And then the whole cult is run by somebody that's fucking inbred. Like, they do that on purpose.
Oh,
they
okay.
purposefully have inbreeding so they get some, like, really deformed person, and then whatever the deformed person writes in, like, a book, that's what they follow. And they try to interpret it. And then they have, like, hundreds of books from these, like... It's like, what is the logic
We have a
here?
lot of rules.
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
This movie is stupid. It's shot really well, but it's fucking dumb. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Oh, God.
So yeah, give that a watch.
All right, yeah, Midsummer. I'll be sure to watch that one.
Fucking sucked.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
The big topic. Hit me with it.
All right. No. This is a smaller topic.
Okay.
All right. Finishing off the cabin. Here we go. I'm just jumping just for a second.
Yeah, do it.
All right. I've never been an instrument person.
Okay.
I've never been able to instrument.
Yeah.
But a couple of the people brought guitars.
Oh, okay.
And they were jamming. So one of them did lead, the other one did what do you call it?
Bass.
No, they're both guitars.
Oh. Sub, bottom.
Yeah. Someone was bottoming, someone was topping.
Someone was topping. Got it.
Yeah, I happen to own a pair of bongos, and I
Oh.
knew that they were going to bring that. And I also have one drum synthesizer and one just regular synthesizer. They're not really synthesizer. Stylophone, if you know what that is.
Yeah, it's
So-
telephone.
Style.
Oh, style.
It's a little one.
Oh, okay, got it.
But so basically, I brought my stylophones. I have like a drum one that you can make like a drum loop on.
Sweet.
And so like I brought those and my bongos. And so like while they were jamming, because all they do is they put on like a background of like just some jazz, like people just playing for like 20 minutes, and you use that and you just play along to that and do like solos and whatever. You just kind of feel it. And so I was like sitting there with my bongos, and eventually like I got into the flow of whatever, and I'm like, oh, this actually sounds kind of nice. We had like one of the other people brought like maracas, and so they're like, and it was like, I've never been in a jam sesh. I'm like, oh, I understand now what they mean by jam.
Yeah, like you're in the flow.
Yeah, it feels good. You're like, oh, I'm participating in something bigger than myself.
That's great. Yeah, I've had that a couple times.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I get like, unfortunately every time I've ever picked up a guitar, I don't know, it doesn't click. But the bongos, because it was fairly simple, I felt like I was.
Maybe
doing
you're a
pretty good.
bongo guy, dude.
I think I could just do actual drums.
Yeah.
But I don't want to buy a drum set.
No.
It's a little much.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 10 episodes from now. You get the drum set off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Cody.
$50.
I just come in here, we have
Check
drums
this
set
out.
up. I'm working on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, let me hit a little bit of this.
We have we have to, we
Get
improve the
earplugs in.
Yeah. We improve the podcast. Like every time we do a joke, is
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we create a soundboard of just drum noises. Like, man, this was pretty good. Like, dude, check out this warped cymbal I had. I just drove over it with my car. Like, it's just weird noises. Oh, man.
Just destroyed the symbols.
Yeah.
It's symbolism.
Oh, shit. Yeah, now we're getting really artistic with this podcast. Is it
Yeah, we are.
artism or autism?
It's not.
It's both.
It's
Shit, these guys are crazy.
Damn. But yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was a good time.
Yeah. You should put out whatever you want to put out, dude.
I'm putting out
You should be putting
more.
out that, yeah.
I'm whoring myself out.
I mean,
I got my legs sticking out
if
on the
that's
corner of the road.
What you need.
I don't know if it's what I need or what I want.
Both are applicable.
Oh, okay, that's good. So basically, though, all right, I can continue down the list.
Yeah, we got time, dude. We're at what,
Oh my
30
God.
minutes?
We don't have enough time for my entire list.
We have an hour.
Okay, we probably have enough time. So basically, I think I talked about this last time, did I not? I'm playing fighting games.
Yeah, you were talking about feeling like you're only good when you take nicotine.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so like I don't take the nicotine, but I have been playing more and just been getting better anyway.
Okay.
Don't eat the nicotine.
Yeah, don't need to pop a zinni.
No.
Take a trip to Zimbabwe before you do a match.
I don't wake up and get my Zinachino. No.
Yeah. Take
But,
a little Zin suppository before you.
Just wake up. I'm like, oh, hello, wife. How are you today? And I just bend over and I'm like sticking a Zin up my ass. Yeah, I need the long term.
Yeah. Your wife just has like a permanent plug mounted on a chair with the Zin on top of it, and you just fucking drop on it as you have your morning coffee.
I gotta wake up.
Damn. That really hits the spot.
No
and you
lube
get up
today.
and you pick up the chair with you.
Got a tight ass.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of the lines in her book. The girl was like describing the guy. He was so handsome with his tight little ass. Like it literally said tight little ass.
That's amazing.
Beautiful. But yeah, anyway, no, I've been so I keep track of my fitness using my Whoop band.
Yeah.
And so like I think I did talk about this. While I'm playing Guilty Gear, I break a sweat. Like I am sweaty.
Yeah.
I've sweated through shirts
Yeah.
while playing Guilty Gear, and my Whoop band is like, oh, you've hit like on average a day where I do nothing. By default, I will hit 4 strain. If I go to the gym, I'll usually get like 6 or 7. With just Guilty Gear in a day, I've hit 12.
I picture your wife like walking to the threshold of the door and she looks at you and sees you sweaty in a new light now, and she's like, the glare of the computer reflects off of his face as his pit stains like drench ever lower towards his tight little ass.
I can see him hitting the quarter circles.
She's just like, fuck.
Oh, you got that grab. It's just
Yeah, I can smell the musk coming from his chair.
Oh God. I get up off the chair and she sniffs the chair. No.
Yeah, she's like grinding her face against the chair, huffing.
No.
Honey, what are you doing?
What do you... Guilty Gear's got me worked up,
You
baby.
get out the chair and the butt plug falls out.
I gotta refill the... Oh, God. Gotta refill the Zin plug.
Yeah. She's like, don't worry, babe, I got you. She's just shaking the pills out. She's like, horse.
Just doing speed now.
Yeah. Yeah, the sweat, instead of like rolling down your face, it's like shooting up force as you're hitting buttons. It's like covering the computer screen.
My hair is just a mop.
Yeah.
Wetness.
She's catching it in a fucking bucket.
Oh, God.
She's actually got one of those like urine pans around your neck though. The U-shaped one, bed pans.
Yeah, just, you know.
She's drinking it.
That's so that's my daily life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been basically working out by playing video games.
That's kind of funny and also kind of sad at the same time.
It is, but it really, I don't know why.
Brings you in zone 4, dude.
Zone 2 max,
Dude,
but
I've been actually making fun of my buddy. He's been streaming, and he's got this quirk he does where literally whenever he's focusing, he just like shadow boxes with his tongue. Like it's like it is so funny to me, dude. I've been sending like text-to-speech messages that are like, "Oh, I have a friend that's like trying to get better at like using his tongue. Could you give him some tips or something?" Like it's just like random stuff to like kind of haze him about it. Because dude, every time he's focused, I won't. Oh, man, I'll pull it up later. I have a clip of it. It's so funny. I'm like dying. And he does it every time. It's so consistent.
I suck my lips in, so.
I don't know what I look like when I'm focused. I feel like
It's because you're focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look back at some of the footage I got when I was playing Elden Ring, because I was pretty focused in that. I probably just have like a vein that's like shutting out in my forehead.
The extra blood flow, yeah.
Oh. So yeah, your guilty gear is going good. That's good.
I'm sweating.
You're
Yeah.
sweating a lot. You're getting a lot of exercise.
Yep.
Using just your thumbs.
Somehow, I think it's just cardio because I'm not even like breathing hard or anything.
Yeah,
It's
just mouth breathing.
something's
like
happening.
Fucking Neanderthal.
My heart rate goes up to like 150. Spikes. Like.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I would love to see streams with a heart monitor.
Sure, I'll just leave it
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be actually. I'll just wear a white T-shirt. That's good enough.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, then what you can do is you can mark the pit stain by drawing where it's at.
At what times?
Yeah. At the time, like a height thing people do for kids growing older, except it's just pit stains. That would be so good, dude. You need to do that.
Yeah. All right, I'll do it tonight.
That's a great stream idea.
I don't have a webcam though. That's the problem.
You don't have a webcam?
On my home computer, no.
Don't you do like the insurance selling thing though?
You don't have to do that with a webcam.
Oh God.
I just call people on my phone.
Bro, you don't have a webcam for anything?
I have one on my laptop.
You can use your phone as a webcam.
I could, or I'd just buy a cheap webcam on my way home.
You could.
Problem solved. But yeah, I could do that. You know what? I'll do that tonight.
Yeah.
I'll let you know because it's something to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for things to do. Speaking of which, are you like working right now? Are you in between working? What's your?
That brings me to my next topic.
Perfect.
So basically, I've just been selling insurance. So like once or twice a week, I'll basically make a bunch of phone calls, try to set up appointments, and then sell insurance. So far, I have made zero progress.
I was gonna ask if you made progress.
I've
Do you have like a reason why?
I think I'm not a good salesman because I don't see like the people that end up picking up the phone and saying that they're interested. They're older, and so the policies that I can sell them for life insurance if you buy a life insurance policy, like whenever you're our age, optimal. It's cheap and you can get super high coverage. Like for example, I can get which this is going to sound like a lot. For about $1,600 a year, I can get a 30-year policy that is $750,000. So if I were to die, my wife would get $750,000. And also I can borrow off of that policy, meaning after 6 years I can borrow like 50 grand.
It's basically like a pyramid scheme. Because they make their money through like only a few people dying, they lose money, and then assuming everybody else pays into the pot, and you're kind of like you're part of the cult because you're like selling.
It's not. No. It's yeah. Okay. There's a pyramid scheme, but it's not that. The actual policy itself isn't terrible.
Okay.
It is to cover people. It is to cover whoever I leave.
Mm-hmm.
So if I die, my wife gets a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Okay, she can pay off the house. She doesn't have to work.
Yeah.
If we had kids or whatever, she would have money for like at least a few years to just do whatever.
I get it. I get the premise of it.
Yeah.
It's like a weird like shitty welfare system is what it is.
Kind of, but it's for like you have to have money to do it. You have to pay money. Like I would be paying $2,000 a year to get this policy.
Yeah.
If I was an old person, say most people that I talk to that want these policies are 60 and 70.
Yeah.
Once you turn 80, you can't get any like life insurance because you're
kind of funny.
you're kind of close to death. But like, all right, for like, okay, I'll give you an example. There's like an old lady. I talked to her, and let's just say I quoted her a policy at like $400 a month for to cover like just funeral costs. She's in her 70s, and so $20,000 whenever she dies goes to whoever beneficiary is to cover funeral, mortgage, whatever you want, for $400 a month. Like, you think this old lady who's not working, she's just collecting Social Security and paying off a mortgage. Like, does she have $400 to spend on a life insurance policy? No. So it's like the people who are interested in this are people who are like close to dying because they want to cover their costs of dying, but like it's already kind of too late for them to get that.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because it's basically this is an insurance thing where the only way you win is by dying.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
Essentially.
The weird one that I was talking about, the one that I would pay $2,000 a month, There's benefits outside of that.
Well, it's 2,000 a year, so it's got to be
2,000
like 150 or something, or
160 or
160
whatever.
a month, yeah.
It's under 2,000, but just to, whatever
Yeah.
to say. But I mean, to get like $750,000 of death benefit for my wife, first of all, that's like the primary thing. The other thing is if I get a chronic illness, I get to use that benefit early while I'm dying. If I have a year left to live, I get to use that benefit, which is
Bali. No.
yeah. I'm balling out. We're buying a Rari.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to do that kind of whatever other benefits. But the weird benefit is that it's an index fund, and so the money that I'm putting in at the end, I can pull that money out after the policy expires.
That sounds sketchy. Is that really that easy to do that?
Yes. Well, what they do is they take the money that I'm sending them, they invest it, and make mundo bucks off of all the people investing
Oh, I
in the
see.
policy, and then they invest in the stock market because they have whatever a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
They can buy these stocks early. They can trade at midnight. All that whatever
Yeah.
trash. And so they're making money off of that. So that's how they can pay for my death benefit and all that junk.
It's kind of like a crappy cryptocurrency in a way.
Yes, but you can borrow off of it is the main thing. I don't really like it that much, but I think that like like say my wife never goes back to work
Yeah.
and we have a child.
Yeah.
If I were to die, she would be screwed.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't, she would have to find a job and pay for the house and the child without me. So if I get this death benefit and I die in some freak accident, she gets like the benefit. Awesome. At least she gets to live her life. It does. There are benefits to it, but it's just not whatever. The pyramid or the triangle shaped part of this is that in order to sell the insurance, you have to buy leads. In order to buy leads, you not really talk to, you just go to this website where you can buy leads. And there's A leads, B leads, C leads, and D leads. And each tier that goes down is like a different way that the person has responded. So the first one is like an A lead is like someone got a piece of mail and they sent it back and said, I'm interested, send me a guy to call me. And so those people, for the most part, are probably going to buy a policy. Those are like, the price varies, but like let's just say around $29 per lead. So to call one person, you have to do that. Then like B's are like they might be interested. C's are like they weren't interested. D's are like somebody called them and they got told to kill themselves. So like you can buy whatever you think you can sell. But for the most part, every single time that I've called like an A lead, those people are like, oh no, I'm not interested. It's like, well then why did you send the mail back? What are you doing? Like.
And can you mark that like an A lead is dead or something, or are they just gonna keep selling the A leads to other people?
So this is where I've been with two different companies doing this. The first company I was with did resell those leads, and they got in trouble with a lot of different people on that, and so they got kind of the company's gone. The new company I'm with doesn't do that, so. They will sell you an A lead as an A lead. You'll go like, okay, here's my A lead, awesome. I'll try to sell them, and then it doesn't work. And
Honestly, it sounds more profitable to do their part of the business, where you just mail a bunch of people and then
get information
sell
back.
leads. Yeah.
It's just you'd have to figure out like the marketing of that, right? So, but yes, it would be way more profitable because I haven't sold any insurance policies. I've spent almost $600, $700 on leads. Haven't got anything back.
Yeah.
Haven't got.
Do you have like a plan for like how much you're gonna spend before you give up on this particular thing?
Oh, I'm really close.
Oh, you're close. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And assuming that, like, let's say a lead goes correctly, how much can you see?
Depending on
Obviously the policy.
the policy.
Yeah.
Depending on the policy, let's just say like your average person in their like 40s or 30s. Would probably need like let's just say $150,000 just to cover their mortgage if they die. That's kind of what I primarily try to sell to people. For that, I would probably get like $400, $500
Total.
Yeah, off of that. So for a $29 lead or a $30 lead or whatever, I can get
Yeah.
that much. So it makes sense, but you have to be able to sell these people, and it's like, even if they're not super interested in it, you still have to try to like convince them to. But it's like, in my mind, whenever I'm talking to a 70-year-old person and they're going to spend $400 on insurance, whenever that could go towards, like, I don't know, just living your life.
Yeah, or 400 they could just put in a bank account for that to begin with.
Yeah.
Like for the cover of the funeral.
I think, like, I did the math one time. There was one lady, she was going to spend like $600, or, well, I quoted a policy for $600, and she was like in her 70s, and it was for like $30,000, and it was just like, okay, so if you just wait, if you save that money for 4 years rather than spending on the life insurance, you would have more money, or whatever. Maybe not 4 years, but you know what I mean. Like, there was a certain point where it's like, well, you might just live till you're 84, and then you're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Yeah, could she still pull out the money at 84?
No, you can't pull out the money. Most of the time. There's certain policies that you can, but once you get old, no. So that's where it's like, old people, yeah, they're going to die and they're going to get their payout, basically.
Yeah.
But if I buy it now and the policy only lasts 30 years, well, odds are I'm probably not going to die, so they can make a little bit of money by telling me I can pay like $20 a month,
Yeah.
and they'll still make bank off of it.
That's interesting and scammy and all the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think whenever you're younger, getting the index fund one that I was talking about, I don't think that's, if you're in good health, it's cheaper, and the fact that you can borrow off of it to, like, say, buy a house.
Well, you say borrow off it, but it's your money.
No, because I don't technically own $750,000.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about. I thought you.
I can borrow off the death benefit.
The debt. I got it. Okay, got it.
And so if I were to die, they would just take the money that I borrowed and just be like, subtract that, and then whatever. But eventually you have to pay it back. But sometimes the loan rates are lower on that than like a mortgage.
That's really weird, dude.
And so you could borrow off of your death benefit rather than borrowing off of like a mortgage lender.
That's so strange.
Isn't it? So.
Yeah. And you had to pay to take a class from a company to be able to sell insurance, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you pay to buy leads.
And how much was the class?
Well, to get licensed and everything, I think it was like $100, something like that.
That's like nothing.
It's not too bad, no.
So there's a low entrance fee to get people into it, but then there's like the high cost of paying for leads, essentially.
Yeah, and you can work for other, like, if you worked for a company, they would buy your leads for you, and they would be more of a, you would obviously get less money off of each sale, but you wouldn't be paying anything.
Yeah, it's still all in your hands chaotically if you can sell the insurance, basically.
And, like, the thing is that you can, I've talked to people, and they're always like, oh yeah, for the first, week or two, man, you just gotta figure out what your script is, or whatever you're going to say to convince people to buy it. And once you kind of get that down, then you can start making money off of it. But it's like, it sounds like the most like scammy thing, right? No, just keep buying more leads, and then eventually you'll get it.
Well, the
and
problem is that it's like gambler's fallacy, because, and then there's like you're so invested in it that you like want to lead. Like there has to be like a limit to.
It's like, yeah, and there are people that will post like, oh yeah, man, I made like last week I made $6,000. It's like, damn, that's cool. I wish I could get, I don't know, a penny. But it's like you see people succeeding at it, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I could probably do at least half that, maybe, in a week. If I got 3 people to agree, I would be up ahead now, ish, maybe. But I doubt that this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like,
that sounds tough, dude. That's a tough market.
Yeah.
And
So.
a weird thing.
Yeah, but so. Other than that, I went on a nice little actual like robot programming work thing, where I went to go quote a job with someone I've worked with in the past, and he basically went like, "Hey, do you mind? I got to drop off some furniture I sold in Facebook Marketplace. Do you want to like? I just got to make a stop, on the way." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." And so like I show up to his house because I was gonna ride with him, and we like he has like a trailer on his truck. I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna?" He's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna throw it on there." I'm like, "Okay." I was thinking like a couple tables or whatever. We go to his storage unit, and he has like 6 of these like the length of this room tables, like desks, heavy duty, stupidly heavy desks that we put onto his trailer and ratchet down. Then we drive like an hour to like this one place to go drop off these tables, and we have to unload everything. And it was like I it was a lot of hard, heavy lifting. And then we went to the actual customer's place, and the guy was like, I'm not really too interested. And he's like, oh man, that sucks. And then we just left. So I was basically used for manual labor.
I should have paid you for that, bro.
He gave me $50.
He should have paid you more than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but I didn't ask for more, but at the same time, it's like, come on.
Yeah,
He asked me the next day, he's like, I got more. The rest of that furniture that was in there, I got someone buying that. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, I can't do it today. Like,
yeah, be like, maybe you pay me better, buddy.
Yeah, maybe a better wage. But yeah, so that was just it was a fun time.
A weirdo.
Yeah. So yeah, dude. I got sick. It would have been just after the last podcast we did.
What kind of sickness was it?
Some kind of like stomach bug. So like I wasn't hungry, and whenever I did eat, I just shit my brains out.
Sounds terrible.
It was bad, and it lasted for about until Sunday, and so it was like 3 weeks almost, where I just wasn't hungry for like 3 weeks. So I've lost 9 pounds because I just wasn't eating food. And so like I was talking to one of the people that I went up north to the cabin with, and they were like, oh yeah, I got like something where I just haven't been hungry. I'm like, so there's something that exists that's out there that just isn't.
Ozempic, it's in the water.
It probably is. but yeah, so I don't know. There's a weird sickness thing that happened a while ago. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I don't know what that has to do with anything, or where the comedic value is of me shitting my brains out because of sickness. It's
Haha. Yeah, that sounds like something.
But so yeah, that happened as well.
I'm glad it's over with, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. No, I've been waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, I'm glad, yeah. I thought that was a topic of discussion.
Yeah, I know.
No, sorry, I just can't think of anything.
I know.
It's just kind of bizarre.
It is. I thought it was weird that someone else. I thought I was lactose intolerant, is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because like the day that it happened, I had like a bowl of oatmeal with I used milk to make the oatmeal. I'm like, oh, I'm treating myself today, and I just
mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I got like Lactaid, and I was like, I gotta start taking this, I guess. But then over the weekend, like last weekend, I had some dairy. I'm like, oh no, I'm actually fine. So
weird.
Very. Yeah, dude, that was weird. I just felt like bringing that up. Okay. I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce. I need to be found. I'm in the woods, as they would say. I'm actually like in the woods. I'm not actually here. I've been in the woods.
It's like an astral projection sort of thing?
Well, I didn't want to be late to the podcast. And so, yeah, I actually... You didn't see my car out there.
No.
Yeah, that's...
Is this like a transition into the next topic, or is this just waffling?
Yeah, so I've been watching Orange is the New Black.
You've been watching what?
Orange is the New Black.
Oh, that's that prison thing?
Yeah, it's the lesbians in prison thing.
I'm trying to think of what the transition was, but I don't think
There
you
isn't
planned.
one. No,
Okay.
there wasn't. I didn't plan on any of that.
This guy's
I was just trying to add in something to like,
ball.
because I was like, this was a bad subject. Why did I even bring it up? I don't know. But anyway.
Not a bad. There was no bad subjects here, Sam.
I've been trying to focus on the craft, and I felt like last time, whenever I had a list, it was more focused, and we had like a really good balance of everything. But this time, like, what's the difference between this time and last time?
Oh, are you already assessing that you feel this time is worse than last time?
I feel like my subject matter, my ability to jump from subject to subject has been affected in some way in which I'm not able to transition. I can't transition.
That's interesting because I guess I feel, I don't know, looking back, we might as well just talk shop while we're at it since this is us trying to
We're
get
already
better
doing
at
it.
podcasting.
Yeah.
But I don't know, from my perspective, I feel like we've had some good riffs back and forth for some of the subjects, and I feel like I've branched off things that you were saying so far. So I haven't found anything like particularly bad. I was refraining a little bit from talking about the last topic because all of the things I want to talk about are relating to like gut bacteria and also like things living in the gut, and I'm worried about
we can't
fucking another episode.
Yeah, we can't talk about
so I don't
that.
really want to talk about health at all.
We also
it's just like general information. So I'm kind of like, where do I draw the line for that?
We also can't really talk about the free.
Yeah.
So anyway, Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, you're wearing orange today, I see.
It's like red, orange. Yeah, it's orangey.
Don't fucking lie to me. Don't lie to the viewers.
I won't. I won't lie to you viewers. I'm pretty sure this is red.
Why did you have that on your list?
So me and my wife have been watching Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
It's a TV show, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It was big for a while because it's like, it's really interesting. I didn't think that I would be super into it. I thought it'd be kind of like, oh, I'll just watch it with the wife or whatever. But it's been like interesting. So you kind of start out with this character. The main character. She's just like a default Dan white girl.
Okay.
And you're like, oh my god, she's innocent. She was thrown into like this jail, this system that's gonna eat her alive, and she's like not faring very well in this whole like bad ecosystem, whatever thing. And then as like time goes on, the show kind of shows you how either her like journey in the prison has made her kind of more into the prison system, and so she's becoming more of a criminal-ish because she's with all these people that are all criminals. And like she's just hasn't been like, you kind of look at it and you go like, oh, maybe she does belong in prison because she's kind of not very good. She's doing things that, like, even in prison, you're like, oh, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that. That's probably not a good idea. But, like, at the beginning, you saw her as this, like, innocent person. Now the show's kind of going like, oh, no, she kind of belongs here. But is it just the fact that she's been spending a lot of time in prison? Is it just the fact that that's just what happens whenever you go to jail? Who knows? The cool parts about this is that this is a book that was written by the lady who the main character is. So it's kind of like they adapted this book and added a bunch of other characters in it to like make it more in depth and more of a TV show. Because I bet if it was just the book, it'd be like one season rather than 7.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just been like a really nice watch. I've been thinking about like jail stuff and like how would I act if I went into jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what would I do? What would change? Like, I think most people probably sit back and they go like, I think that if I went to jail, I just try to like just hang out. Like I would just try to like read some books, just try to get my sentence done.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's how most people say that they're gonna like that's what I'm gonna do whenever I go to prison. I'm just gonna sit back, not get involved, and just do whatever. But I think stuff happens and people get bored and they go like, well, like I got to serve out a few years. I might as well do something. So my question is, what would you do whenever you go to prison?
That's a really good question. So, like, in your fantasies for like going to prison that you've
Yeah,
been having.
my fantasy.
Yeah, your fantasy. Have you like, do you have like a strategy mapped out for like what you would do to like make friends with people or things like that?
Well, so in the show, it's often racially divided.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
Yeah, we fucked up.
how
Fine.
bad?
Not too bad. Your audio will be good. Mine will be shit. Because
Okay.
I forgot to hit record. But yours is good. So this will be a you episode.
This will be an interesting Sam episode, the one-sided episode.
Yeah, until this point.
Yeah.
At 1 hour.
Did you hit your button?
No. And I'm not going to because it's recording with this audio now from us talking from the mics.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It was picking up this.
That
So
makes
it might
sense.
not be horrible because I'm over here.
Yeah.
And
We'll see. It'll be fine. Anyway.
whatever, we fuck up.
Yeah, that's fine. But anyway, yeah. You were complaining about audio issues earlier too. That's the funny part.
You know, honestly, I hate it because I wish it would just default to the right mic every time. But
my
like this
God.
one uses
Default.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know, I have two headsets now, and I know this sounds like really dumb, but I have one that's open back, one that's closed back. Okay, because I start talking really loud if I use the closed back ones.
Yeah.
So like out of courtesy for my wife, I use the open back ones so I can hear myself, so I don't like start like screaming. And so I have to also switch audio all the time, and it's just like, why can't there just be like a shortcut or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe I can just hard set it so that in this scene alone, it'll automatically default to the wireless DJI mics.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think about it because I forgot to hit the record button because I went to the bathroom beforehand.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
Here I thought you hit the record button whenever you went to go.
Yeah, you can see it right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
no, I
on.
didn't want to record my peeing and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
So next time I'll just record the peeing.
You should have, yeah. But anyway,
Anyways, yeah. So
how would you do in prison?
Honestly, probably pretty good. It's basically like high school, but with adults, and they're not really adults. They're like, you know.
Yeah. I think, I was going to say, everything's racially divided in prison. And so
Yeah.
I think in order to not make myself any kind of special target, I would probably end up having to somewhat associate with the white people.
I think if you're just a really good bottom, it doesn't matter.
That's true as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Just work on your...
My game. I just come in pre-gaped,
Yeah.
you know.
Just be the best femboy you can. That's really what I think the prison system needs. You gotta find your niche. You gotta do something that no one else can do. No, honestly, yeah, I can understand. My strategy would probably be try to make friends with the people that look the most intimidating after you assess, like, the crowd of who has the most, like, you know, power. And then, you know, you also got to balance between not trying to, like, gain more power because that just makes you a bigger target. You just kind of want to be, like, the second-hand man on the side sort of thing. And then also, you know, I would say that people that are more honest, direct, and blunt and aren't like conniving are going to be stronger in prison generally because people trust you. You want to build up trust with different people. And then you also want to try to bridge communities. I understand that it'll be segmented racially, but I think my best thing would be to try to find common points of interest between all the people and form connections with them in some kind of capacity. Like, oh yeah, like you killed somebody. Like I've played video games before. I've shot people in those. That makes sense. Like whatever. Just try to find some commonality.
Oh yeah, you're a murderer.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you like women. I like women too. That's cool.
Yeah, let's talk about women.
Yeah. Oh, you're like a felon for. Oh God. Okay. Well, you know, I've played video games. So just like whatever. Anything. Try to find anything.
I feel like I don't know. I don't think I'm going to prison anytime soon. We'll see
who
on the
knows?
next
Maybe the
episode.
insurance thing's going down. Maybe it's bad.
Yeah, and I need to get out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. But basically,
yeah.
prison changes your entire life, and the show does a good job at showing you how it changes your whole life.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I feel like
people go into the military and then they have like an authority figure that kind of runs over their life, that being like the government and for the government's aims. And in the same way, prison is like having an authority figure over your life in that regard.
Yeah.
Like you have like a scripted, structured life, and you have things that you have to do. Sometimes you have to, whatever, send mail to people or whatever menial task they have you do to earn menial money for yourself for when you get out of prison.
Well, the weird part is like, the prison goes like corporate.
Yeah.
And so it's no longer owned by the government, so they can kind of just go like, oh, this is a re-education thing, and it's just like them digging ditches.
Yeah, it's like experimental shit or whatever.
Oh, it's just like free labor pretty much is what they use it for. It's just, I don't know, they make points and everything, but it's it's a good show if you're ever looking to watch something really long.
Yeah, so besides fantasizing about going to jail and being like more edgy than you are, is there anything else you took away from the show that...
I mean,
do you know what crime you're going to commit to get like a certain amount of time so you can try out your jail fantasy?
Well, it's been more like between me and the wife. Like, if I go to prison, like,
Do they have an insurance policy for if you go to prison?
I should look into that. Yeah.
In case you get caught, like if you're a high volatile person, maybe like you get an insurance policy so that like if you go to prison, they pay out.
Yeah.
You know what? That insurance people, that's a new insurance scam you can start working on.
I feel like that's a bad one to invest in because I feel like that one you just end up like getting someone that was like not going to commit a crime, and then they're like, well, now I got the insurance policy. Crime time.
Not only does it incentivize crime, but also the people that would take out like that policy, like assuming they're a delinquent, they wouldn't pay the policy. So that's also like funny to think about. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting topic. I don't know if I've ever really fantasized about going to jail or thinking about like what I would do in jail. It's interesting that you're having those thoughts about it.
I've never had it before, but because we're watching the TV show, I'm like, what would I do?
Yeah. Do you feel like people that go to jail are cooler than people that don't?
No.
No?
No.
Not at all?
Jail sucks.
I mean, to some extent, yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
It just sucks up 2 years or whatever of your life.
Time. Yeah, for sure.
You just disappear into a hole where your family barely sees you, and you just don't exist pretty much, and don't get to continue your life until you get out.
I've read that a lot of millennials, they spend a lot of money these days on experiences, and that's an experience that you can get without paying money for it.
I think you end up paying money some way.
In fact, you might actually get something in return depending on the crime you commit.
You go to a jail. Or sorry, you go to like a police station, right? And you just go like, I'm money laundering. I'm only laundering enough to get 1 year of prison though.
Yeah.
Can you take me to the courthouse, please?
Yeah.
And like,
dude, even a month of jail, that's like a vacation, and you have an excuse from work, like, oh, I was in jail, and they'll be like, oh, what did you do? It's like, well, I only got a month. And it's like, well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you get another job, and they're like, why'd you go to jail? And you're like, well,
I just wanted to see how it was. I watched Orange is the New Black, and I was curious.
Yeah, I just had to know.
So I got in a maximum security prison for only 1 month.
You'd be in minimum. But yeah, no. So yeah.
You mean yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a
yes, and
I support our local prison systems.
Yeah, you get a bumper sticker.
Yeah, it's just an American flag, black and white, with an orange stripe on it.
Yeah.
No, prison is fucking stupid, dude. That one got you.
Man. Yeah, man. Prison's stupid.
Prison is stupid, dude. I think I could run a better prison.
You know what?
I think I could.
Open your own prison.
I'm thinking about it.
Johnny Cash.
I bet I could rehabilitate those people better than they're getting rehabilitated now.
You probably could.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you guys need your doormats if you're going to be having twink sex.
Yeah, whatever.
In my prison.
Honestly, dude.
But yeah, no. I always say yeah, no. It's like,
it's a Midwestern thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm wearing like a very Midwestern hat. It says dry duck on it.
Yeah, that's a Midwestern hat. We're really Midwestern core right now.
We are. We're rolled up the sleeves on our hoodies.
We're getting ready for winter.
Yeah.
Preparing for the cold season.
Yeah, how was your Halloween, by the way?
Yeah,
anything?
what do we even do for Halloween? Nothing. I don't think we did anything.
Damn.
Halloween's a weird holiday for me because growing up, my family always threw like the 200-person Halloween parties, and so like I was kind of disillusioned with it at a certain point because like my parents got married on Halloween. Our house, we had Halloween all in the house. Our basement was always, we had like gore and everything. Like I don't know, it was just, which probably is saying something about my childhood if you've listened to any of the episodes beyond this. But you can understand me psychologically a little bit more. But
It's always Halloween.
yeah, no, I don't know. We didn't do anything. We planned to go to a party, but we didn't end up going, and then that was about it. I think we made some treat or something, and then I don't think we did anything else. What about you?
We had some trick-or-treaters at our house.
Okay.
We set up like lawn chairs. It was really nice outside
Yeah.
Halloween. We set up like I was wearing. I didn't have a costume, but like my wife had like a pirate hat and a pirate shirt and a pirate. She had like pirate stuff. And so like I was like I'm gonna just be like your average day fisherman. So I wore like a hat and like a normal shirt. But anyways, we had like the kids come by, and the thing that I find weird is like people bring like their 1-year-old or their 2-year-old. It's like, oh, my baby's first
It's
Christmas.
because it's
and
an excuse for them to get candy. Is what it is.
yeah, and they like carry their baby up to our door and be like, say anything. Say anything. Oh, he's a little shy. Say anything.
And then they just grab a handful.
And then, and then and it's like, oh, here you go. And they're like, oh, and then obviously, wife goes like, oh, baby cute.
Yeah.
And then like they leave.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, but there was one who was like probably like 2 or 3, and because I was wearing a ball cap, and like the dad looks like he has like the same facial hair and the same hat. The kid like walked up and like walked towards me and was like, Dad, and like they pointed at me, and then Dad's like, not quite.
Dude, next year.
Jesus Christ.
Next year, I forgot you have a house. Let's do something fun. Okay, so like here's my thought. I think tell me what you think about it.
Yeah.
So people on YouTube, they get like a lot of views for doing like the trolling trick-or-treaters thing.
Yeah.
So what if like the kid comes up to your house, they're on the sidewalk. First thing they see, I'm holding out a liability waiver they need to sign. Okay. I'm like, you need to sign this. They sign it, okay, because they're fucking kids, right? We built a fucking wipeout course on your front lawn, and they don't get the candy till they fucking earn it. It's like a meritocracy. They have to earn their candy, right? And so we're encouraging fitness. We don't have to worry about liability because they signed the liability waiver, or their parents did because they're too young to sign it. And they got to go through like these ramps and monkey bars and whatever just to get to the candy to actually earn it. And the people that can't do it, we just shoo them away, shun them. Any kid that can't do it, just done, get a shame. And then they can use that instance in their life of that shame to channel into becoming a better person. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking. So we could do like some jumps. We could have you standing there with like boffers that you beat them with.
Dodgeballs.
Yeah, dodgeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can have like a pile of leaves at the end if it's fall by then.
Yeah, if fall happens anymore.
We could have somebody spinning like a stilts that they're on or something, whatever.
And then for the adults, we'll have like Jello shots and real guns.
Yeah, they have to take a Jello
real-
shot and they have to wait 20 minutes. And then they have to spin around and say their ABCs backwards.
And then they have to Russian roulette. One in the chamber.
It's an airsoft gun, but one in the chamber, 600 FPS. Enough to give you a fucking welt.
Yeah.
That's what if they want to earn it for their 1-year-old, they gotta play our game. And then I'll be wearing like the Saw makeup.
There you go.
You want to play a game?
Liability waiver. Hey kid, stop.
Sign this. This isn't legal in the court of the Michigan. Shut up.
You want your crunch bar or not?
Yeah. We have full candy bars at the end because that'll be the best candy on the street, but they got to earn it.
That's true. Do you know what actually we've done the last few years? Pokemon packs.
Oh yeah,
The kids, they're like, Pokemon, and they
Yeah.
like freak out whenever
Yeah,
they see that.
eat it up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There was like one kid that like was they like went up with like their little like sister or whatever, and so like the older brother's like, oh my god, you have Pokemon cards, and he like grabbed one, and then he like tells his sister, I'll trade you candy for a Pokemon card. Grab the Pokemon, like trying to convince his little sister to grab the
value
Pokemon.
of these is higher.
Yeah. But I was like, this is a good sign for America because they're valuing. I looked at candy as a short-term gain, and the Pokemon cards as even though they're probably.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, yeah, there's the instant gratification of the sugar rush, but they're thinking of the long-term gratification of having a material product.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's also gambling.
I love gambling.
I love gambling.
I want a Pikachu. Yeah.
So yeah, I think having an obstacle course would be a pretty great.
I
They
don't
never do anything good, dude. It's always like, oh, scare the kids. Like, I'm gonna scare the kid about their future health.
They have to sit through like a
boot camp.
You know what?
With me.
We just set it up where my yard becomes like we have like a big screen.
Yeah.
Like a projector. Mm-hmm. And like you have a timeshare presentation that's 20 minutes, and that's the real horrors.
Oh my god.
And so like we like advertise like on the side of the house like full size Crunch Bar, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then like people like come on in, and then when people try to leave, like, you're gonna miss this opportunity for your life-size Crunch Bar.
Yeah.
And like we try to like sell them on life insurance.
Honestly, I like the idea of like giving the older kids like index cards that they have to brief themselves on and give a presentation as well. Be like, this is what the real world actually looks like. It's not gonna be like all sunshine and rainbows.
The horrors of real world.
Yeah. And then we pay them in candy bars, assuming that they give a good enough presentation.
You get a full-size Crunch Bar or a pack of Pokemon.
It's not child labor because it's candy.
Yeah, we get away with it.
That would be a good YouTube video. Also, my other thought was we could next year do a podcast out on your lawn while the trick-or-treating is happening.
I'm down with that. See, my
funny.
wife, she loves handing out the candies to the kids.
Yeah.
So this is the main obstacle is the fact that she would just want to give the candy to the kids.
That's fine. If she's really into handies, she can do that, and then we'll actually talk about stuff.
We'll sit out in the yard. That's what we do. Is like so.
Our Halloween costume is we're bad podcasters.
Yeah. And people just can walk up and like we'll have a microphone set up like that.
We'll have a mock Joe Rogan experience thing. We can all have that third eye thing that he's got.
It's just that's scary. A white guy podcast.
Yeah.
The most horrifying
intimidating thing. And it's like super uninteresting.
Yeah. Or like, so
just basically like our podcast now, where the audio's bad, we never get anything right.
Welcome to our show of horrors.
Welcome to our show, our little pet shop, and we're the pets,
and you're the shoppers.
Rough. You're the shoppers. Paying with your time. Nothing's free. Bow wow.
I'm coming.
Oh god.
Oh god.
So yeah, dude.
No, that sounds great.
I want to do an outside podcast with our phone at some point. So
I mean, if we're in front of my house, I can just run an extension cable.
Even better.
And we could just have the laptop set up.
Let's do a winter podcast.
I'm ready. Well, there's still the Raking Leaves podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We have an opportunity to do that soon.
Right now, I haven't raked my leaves.
Oh my god.
So
that audio is going to be even worse than this one.
That's the funny part of it. Is that you can't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could even have a video where like, look at this pile of leaves we have. Bye.
That's it. How much of your list did we get through?
We're almost to the end. I have 2 things, but one of them is just a joke.
Okay, let's hear it.
You want to hear the joke?
Yeah, let's hear the joke.
You want the joke?
Yeah, let's hear the joke.
It's kind of the end of the show. Like, you want to leave them laughing.
Okay, then what is the other topic?
This is going to be the funniest joke you've ever seen.
Okay.
All right, this is...
He's already destroying the joke.
You got to get ready. Yeah, I'm setting up expectations.
Yeah, now the joke's going to fucking bomb. All right, what's the other topic?
All right, the other one is that I've been having dreams. I know, something we've never talked about on this podcast.
Okay, all right.
So the dream I want to talk about is it was just a dream where I was talking to my dad, and he basically told me, "Hey Sam, you got to get it together. I want to be a granddad sometime." I'm like, geez, and then I woke up.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Biology was like, you need this right now.
Your dad's disapproving of you because you
Yeah.
haven't had a child,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's wild, bro.
I mean, it's just your subconscious telling. It's my.
You wake up and you're like, sigh, I guess I'll come with my wife today.
Today.
What do you feel like you have to get together before you're prepared to be a father?
I need to go back to work.
Oh, do you feel like this insurance thing just isn't panning out, or?
Yeah, no, it's not. I would rather do robot stuff any day of the week too. I mean, I really think that like beginning of next year everything's gonna pick up again. But it's just like dealing with the fact that I don't really have much to do other than play video games, clean my house, make dinner.
Can you give us your brief experience with the new Factorio DLC?
Oh, it's been pretty fun. They changed a bunch of stuff around. So like you actually have to get all the tech, you have to go to other planets. You have to make a spaceship that can make it from, like, it's actually hard to make a spaceship that'll make it to a new planet and back. Someone I was playing multiplayer with someone and they had gone, I was like, I'm going to send you in this rocket to the other planet, and then we'll send the rocket back, and then, we'll be able to, I'll hop back in it and go to the planet. I'll meet you there once I finish what I'm doing. And so he's like on his way to the new planet, and like the spaceship's just blowing up. And so like the thrusters like gave out, like the whole thing is like the ship is basically ruined. And he like basically, because he had just enough thrust to make it to the planet, he just barely makes it there, and then lands on the planet. He's basically stranded there. There's no ship to get him out. And so I've been like trying to make a better rocket that can actually make it there and maybe back.
That's crazy.
So go and save him.
So then what does he have to do? Does he have like the resources to like...
Well, every planet has its own like new system.
Oh God.
To get resources and stuff. So like he's on the molten lava planet. And so you can take the molten lava out of like a molten lava lake, and it has all the minerals in it. So you can separate them out into forges, so you can get copper plates, iron plates, whatever you need. And then those can go into like, while it's still molten. So like say you have molten iron, you can bring it to a forge to just automatically make like iron gears.
Okay.
So you can get a bunch of like tier 1 stuff without even actually having a bunch of raw material belts.
Gotcha. But it is like a different process. You got to learn basically.
Yeah. And so, what happens is that on those planets, certain things can only be crafted on that planet. So there's big drills, like mega drills, that are like double the size of the normal drills, and they're double as efficient too. And so, what you want to eventually end up doing is you want to automate a space shuttle that can go up, fly to the main place, drop off cargo.
Oh, I see.
So like I want to automate making mega drills on this planet and then leave pretty much, and then have those automatically ship out. Oh, and the science vials you get off that planet, have those get just dropped off at my main base on the normal planet, and then have it fly back and go pick up another load.
So now, does everything, if you both were to go to the molten lava planet, would your original planet still be running and gaining resources? Okay, so those are still loaded and technically whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if like enemies attack if we both leave the planet, but they kind of changed some stuff. So like we actually had to like turtle the base up a lot, because I don't know if you remember whenever we played, once we got mortars, I think we cleared out like every single enemy within like miles. And so like we didn't have to worry about anything. But in this one, we don't have mortars, so you still have to go out and like tank, blow up everything. But because basically I'm at the point where we would have probably beat the game in vanilla on the main planet, but because we don't have all the tech, I can't get like Spidertron or Mortar or anything that like finishes off the game.
So then, you said that you sent him to one planet. Is there other options for planets to go to?
There's
okay,
4.
So you could build another shitty rocket and send somebody to another planet, and then just have like 3 people in different planets.
Yeah,
doing
starting
stuff.
out.
Got it. That's funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and so
I was interested in it. It does seem cool.
yeah, the guy who I also like later on after the one person was stranded on the one island, I did build another shitty rocket to send a person who's called into the podcast, Billy. I sent him to go help.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, basically, I just last night I was playing it, and we have a rocket that can make it there and back now, so it's like, okay, at least there's something.
Yeah.
But man, it's hard to actually get.
That's really
enough
funny.
rocket.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's been really fun. Dude, it's like it seems like we're gonna have to beat the game 4 different times with 4 different like setups.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Because there's the molten lava planet, the ice planet that you have to heat everything, but power like electricity comes from like lightning storms, and you have to keep everything warm, and then like you can get ammonia to build like super nuclear fuel and like do all this like different stuff, but you can ship everything back, right? So you can just get a bunch of stuff on your main base to just upgrade it and make it whatever. But yeah, the next planet they're probably going to go to is the like lush jungle planet, and that one seems interesting because you're farming bacteria rather than resources, and so there's bacteria that makes copper, and so you have to like have this bacteria grow, and it can spoil if you try to transport it too far or whatever.
That's really interesting. That
So-
seems awesome. Seems like a great update.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's a expensive DLC.
Yeah, it's
though.
like 35 or something. It's basically like the main price of the game.
Yeah, you're basically double. It's more than doubling the game though, so it's like I get it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, the Factorio has been really good.
Sweet.
Been playing Deadlock too.
Yeah, I haven't given that a shot at all.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like you'll play it and you'll be like, oh, I see. This is like, it's a new MOBA, but it's also because it's a shooter, it's more accessible. I did get the equivalent of like Emerald in League in the ranked. So like that's like what 2 ranks from the top.
I didn't even know Emerald was a league rank.
Yeah, it's above like Platinum, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know, like certain characters I play in that game, there are just games where I just do really well, and I think it all has to do with because the game's new, people don't know how to deal with what I'm doing all the time. And I think that my reign of being decently high ranked will eventually come
That's
to an
kind of
end.
what I felt like when we played Paladins for a bit. I don't know if you were part of that.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and
Okay.
we destroyed
Yeah,
people.
like you could just completely just decimate everyone.
Felt like there were times that we were playing with actual toddlers, and like they were like, "Oh, it's a free game on my dad's
Yeah, then
computer."
they just get busted.
Yeah,
Like heads lopped off immediately. I remember playing the guy that throws the hatchets. He's like a tree or something.
Yeah.
Just completely decimating.
I don't even remember what character I played, but it was one of the ones that built a turret. But like, you didn't even have to do anything.
No.
Like it just seemed like they just run into you and die. But yeah, no, that you get that feeling a little bit. But it's starting now that it's been out for a couple months. I'm like starting to play like ranked games where I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, people are figuring it out.
Yeah, and I'm like lowest. I have the lowest amount of like farm and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this
God.
never used to
The
happen.
meta's dialing in.
Yeah,
That's kind of funny.
so, but yeah, that and then just Guilty Gear is the only other thing I've been playing. So, you know, I mean, I know you've just been focusing on your.
Yeah, basically programming.
I know your cousin was playing Factorio.
Yeah, he's been playing it a little bit. I've been planning to play Sunken Land with him. I will spare some time during my grind to do that. I haven't bought it yet because I was waiting to kind of see if it went on sale at all, but it's only $20, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Rust with like, but it's like a
Oh.
dystopian
I saw
water world, basically.
Is it just NPCs or are you PvPing in that?
There's a bunch of there's no PvP or like any of that stuff. It's like a co-op against
Okay.
zombie type of thing.
That's better than because that's the part of Rust I don't really. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, it has like a Rust look, but it doesn't play like Rust at all.
Gotcha.
It's basically just like a PvE game, it looks like, where you like co-op, build a base sort of thing, and then defend against like waves of zombies. Kind of like 7 Days to Die, but with like the water world element of it.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. And then you can like dive under the water and find structures and stuff. The reason I was interested in it is even though it looks kind of generic, it's been getting pretty consistent updates, and they've been putting a lot of love into it. So I was like, I like this. This is good.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen, well, you never played like Lethal Company, did you?
I played a little bit.
Okay. So the Lethal Company genre now, there's a new game called Subterranauts.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that one at all. So it's like Lethal Company, but you're on a train and you're just trying to make it farther. And like it seemed interesting and new at the beginning, but it's so early access that like whenever I played, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not there yet.
A friend of mine, she gifted me Phasmophobia or whatever.
Oh, that's
I've
fun.
never had that game before, but I haven't played it yet. So.
Oh, that's a fun time. Like
Yeah.
even if you just play it like a couple times.
Yeah, I saw they had a Blood Moon event or something coming up, so it looks
Yeah.
like they're still updating that.
But that game's really fun because it's I don't know. I liked it better whenever it was slightly earlier because they made it. The ghosts used to be more predictable, and you'd try to guess using evidence of what happened and what you found to like guess what ghost it is. But they made it harder because they kept adding more ghosts, and they made the ghosts less predictable. So the people who played a lot were like, "Oh, finally." I won't immediately know what ghost it is because I have everything memorized. But like the people who didn't play it that much, like me, I'm just like, oh, this is just hard now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, I can't even win that easily, So, but it's a fun time. You'll have fun.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm excited to try it. I actually have been kind of obsessed. My friend, he's been streaming. He streamed like the first game of Amanda the Adventurer. Have you seen that game?
No.
It's basically like this horror game where you're like in an attic and you have this like children's show that you're like watching, and you get VHS tapes that like progressively like get more deranged and show the story.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting, and I really like the game quite a bit. And so he was playing it kind of slow, and he was doing pretty bad because it's like a pretty puzzle heavy game. And he ended up beating it. It took him a while, but before he beat it, my cousin Drew was like, "Oh, like I bet I could beat both these games in a single day." And so he did like an 8-hour stream where he just played both games straight. And I'm sitting there like I was with rapt attention, like watching and playing along with him. And he did it. He beat both games. I didn't help him at all.
Yeah.
Other than like I was trying to follow along the puzzles, and the ones I didn't think I got, I would like look up to ensure. And there were a couple of moments he got like hella stuck, but oh my god, it was so funny. I'll show you the clips after this of him playing it. It was really, really funny. But that was great. I love watching him play it. It was really enjoyable. And the games were really well made too. I liked them quite a bit. I didn't like the monster because it just looks stupid. The girl herself is like a little black girl, and she has like these afro space bun sort of thing. And for whatever reason, they did this like alien type creature, but they kept the stupid space bun hair. I was like, why? Why? Just remove it. It looks so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how do we show that this character is Amanda? Like, we'll just give him the same hair. Fucking kill me.
Couldn't figure anything.
The monster just looks, it doesn't look scary. It just looks dumb.
Damn.
I wish it was scarier. I was like, is there a way to mod the monster? Something. But yeah. But the game is really creepy. It gives a good vibe. The animations are really funny.
Do you know what Tattletale is? Have you heard of that one?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that one's more Five Nights at Freddy's, where you kind of just live through things, and there's a little bit of puzzle elements.
Gotcha.
But what you're saying kind of reminds me of that.
Something that I find really interesting game design wise is what is it with all these horror games and fucking puzzle? Why do they mix it with puzzles? Like, that is just a terrible mix to me. It's like the slow metheticalness of thinking puzzles with, like, horror. I don't know.
I think because it's hard, because you're like, yeah, but what if I'm solving the puzzle and then the creature?
Like, that was what I found really weird about Poppy's Playtime, because I watched my buddy play through those games as well. And like the puzzles just kind of suck. I don't
Yeah.
find them that like the environment's cool. It's well made. The enemies are really creepy. They're like they have like a good silhouette. They're like really memorable. And the lore is interesting. You know, it's always the orphanage and kids dying, whatever.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But I found that fascinating. But the actual gameplay sucks. I hate the gameplay.
Yes.
It's always like puzzle, chase scene, puzzle, like. What, like it's always
And
dumb.
the puzzles are always like not that difficult, but it's like
or they're it's not even that they're not difficult, they're just weirdly out of place. Like in the Poppy's Playtime, you had like these gloves.
The 2 hands.
Yeah, and then the hands had like these electrical currents so you had to wrap around. It's like it's just weird. It's like why do I feel like I'm playing a fucking Zelda game? Like in this weird, it doesn't fit ludologically or diegetically with the theme of it's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
then again, I don't really have an answer for like what would be a better genre mix up with horror, right? Because horror is like
I think like by doing puzzles, you don't give the player much to deal with whatever horrors are attacking them, right?
Yeah.
If you go like, oh, it's a shooter, well, at least I can just shoot the thing in the face whenever I see it.
Yeah, I also think that like puzzle games are the most accessible games. So you probably target like a much wider audience through the casualness of like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Because you get, I don't know. Have you seen anything about Garten of Banban? Like all 8 of those games?
No.
They're like kind of like a low tier like mascot horror game, like indie, but they're kind of popular just by virtue of there being like 7 of them. There's no 5th game. That was kind of a joke. But they're making like the 0 game. I don't know. It's just like it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, like it's the like I always liked Five Nights at Freddy's. Like when it first came out, like I know what it turned into was kind of cringe, where it just was like this children's IP that kind of became whatever. But for the first like 3 or 4 games, it was like, oh, there's like some weird lore going on here, and it was fun to figure out, and like there was a lot that was going into that, and then I don't know, it just kind of ended. But it's more about like you're playing this like horror game for fun, I guess, with like friends or whatever, and then like it's more of like I'm just going to talk about what could be going on for the lore, and I don't know.
I do think that Five Nights at Freddy's has a really good gameplay loop, the original one. I like how that was. I like the like stealth mechanics that they seem to have added in later games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not entirely bad. I guess stealth mechanics is another big one for horror, but
It is.
whatever the case. Just some thoughts about
Oh,
the
yeah.
horror genre.
Yeah.
Anything else? Oh, you have your joke. Let's hear
Yeah.
your joke.
It's not even really. It wasn't a joke.
Oh, what was it?
Oh, so basically, I was gonna say like, all right. So the election happened.
Yeah.
Can you say anything that isn't political about the election?
It happened.
I mean, I thought, maybe we would have like a.
It's something more interesting than that.
No, but you won. I was like, oh, maybe I can't really think of anything.
You were trying to stump me. I get it.
Yeah, I stumped myself earlier.
Let's see if I can come up with something not political about
The election.
Yeah, that isn't just the fact that it happened, which I suppose is still inherently political.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, there's got to be another.
You chose a side by saying it happened because one side doesn't believe that it happened yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah, wait a second. Actually,
This might be more of a conundrum than I originally thought. Dude, one of my kind of like troll funny things I was doing yesterday too during my buddy's stream is I kept TTSing like that I was his like master because he was playing League, and I kept doing like anime trope stuff. And I was like, "You only have one chance to do this." They're like, "Give it your best. Remember what your master taught you," sort of thing. And then there was like another one where I was like, "I've got a bad feeling about this," like just going back and forth. It was really funny. Yeah. Okay, as for the election, no, I don't have any.
yeah, I don't think
we'll
there's
think
anything.
Maybe if we remember for the next podcast.
You know what? Write it in the comments.
Yeah, write in the comments if you can think of something nice to say about the election that isn't political.
Something nice.
Don't complain about our audio. I don't want to hear it.
They won't be able to hear it.
Yeah, that's
So.
true. Good luck to future Cody dealing with that problem.
Yeah, future Cody.
That's about it.
Okay. Goodbye.
Have a good day.
No, you have a good day.
Thank you.